Today in cloud gaming news, we have a lot to talk about Stadia and GeForce NOW, and since it is GFN Thursday, why not start there? It's fair to say that the past month has been an insane one for GeForce NOW. Between games like God of War, EA titles, as well as 4K streaming for PC and Mac, it's been quite eventful. This week is no different, as Evil Dead the game will be launching on GeForce NOW Day 1. This launches tomorrow, and it just so happens to be launching on Friday the 13th, while also being the 1300th game to join GeForce NOW's library. With this one, you'll get to step in the shoes of Ash Williams or his friends in the iconic Evil Dead franchise as you work together in a game loaded with over-the-top co-op and PvP multiplayer action. You can play as a team of 4 survivors that have to explore, loot, manage your fear, and find key items to seal the breach between worlds, or choose to go against the forces of good, in which case you'll be taking control of a Kandarian demon to hunt Ash and others while possessing deadites. From what I've seen of the game, it happens to look pretty good. Now, I'm gonna be honest, these types of games usually aren't for me. I'm not big on horror. But this might be one I actually have to check out, because it seems like a lot of care and attention was put into both the game and the IP. I'm a sucker for any game that looks good in the graphics department, and with the 3080 tier, I can't wait to put on both DLSS to achieve that smooth 4K gameplay experience. Evil Dead the game will be available to pick up on the Epic Games Store and available to stream on GeForce NOW this Friday. But it's far from the only title arriving this week. There are 7 others in addition to it that you can look forward to. Right now, we're gonna highlight the 5 other Day 1 releases arriving on GFN this week. First up is Achilles Legends Untold, available over on Steam. You'll have to end the conflict between Hades and Ares in this Souls-like action RPG where you battle gods, defeat mythological creatures, and gather resources alone or in co-op. The game features a deep skill tree and weapon variety to let you forge your own playstyle, easy to learn and hard to master gameplay, rewarding leveling and weapon crafting systems, co-op and procedurally generated dungeons, and it's all wrapped in an engaging and original story inspired by Greek mythology. Next up is Brigandine: The Legend of Runersia. The continent of Runersia is home to 6 major powers with more than 40 bases, 100 knights, and 50 types of monsters. You'll get to select a ruler, organize knights and monsters into troops, and conquer enemy bases. The game aims to be a simple yet deep war simulation game with immersive gameplay with high replayability. You can pick this one up on Steam. Now let's take a look at Neptunia Cross Senran Kagura Ninja Wars. In this crossover hack-and-slash RPG, you'll get to pair up to 10 playable characters to slice through enemy hordes, channel the elements, and perform special character attacks. The game features a combat system where you can choose between 2 characters and switch on the fly mid-fight to unleash devastating combos. And in between fights, you can enjoy the Peaches and Cream meditation minigame to get extra stat boosts for the battle ahead. You can pick up Neptunia Cross Senran Kagura Ninja Wars over on Steam. Following that is a title we talked about over on Tuesday's video, and that's Songs of Conquest, a game that's available both on Steam and the Epic Games Store. It's a turn-based strategy adventure game that fuses RPG, tactical combat, and kingdom management. You'll raise mighty armies, wield ancient magic, and conquer distant lands to build an empire that bards will sing about for centuries. The game sports a really cool old-school RPG art style, and everything I've heard about it has been extremely positive. The game's genre is definitely out of my depth, but I've heard if you're a big fan of Heroes of Might and Magic, you'll definitely like this one. The last Day 1 release we're going to be highlighting in this video is Cepheus Protocol Anthology Season 1, which you can pick up over on Steam. You'll get to experience the outbreak of the Pangu virus from multiple perspectives across the brave heroes of the Center of Epidemic Research and Control, as you battle tirelessly to stop the spread of a cataclysmic alien virus that has mutated innocent people into monstrous creatures of unimaginable power. While that covers all the Day 1 releases happening on GeForce NOW this week, there are 2 additional titles making their way over, and that's Pogo Stuck Rage with Your Friends and yet another Zombie Defense HD that are both available on Steam. Overall, a pretty good week for GeForce NOW gamers, with Evil Dead the game definitely being the highlight this week. But now let's shift focus over to Google Stadia, in which we have 2 topics to discuss. First up is the title release schedule for the first quarter directly from Ubisoft. While most Ubisoft titles are a safe bet to arrive on Stadia, there have been 2 titles that have never been officially confirmed. And that's For Honor, a long-standing series that's currently on year 6 of support, as well as the upcoming Roller Champions. Now I want to put a bit of a warning here. This isn't the first time we've seen a leak like this from Ubisoft. In fact, I wouldn't even call it a leak, it's just their quarterly report. And last time For Honor showed up for Stadia, but then they clarified that it was a misprint and that it wasn't actually coming to the platform. It would be extremely odd for them to make that same mistake twice, but I wouldn't rule it out, and I would say it's always best to wait for official confirmation on either of these games. With that said, I do believe that both of these titles will eventually find their way over to Stadia. For one, For Honor just recently got a crossplay patch that has enabled more people to enjoy the game with others. And real talk, without the crossplay patch being in there day one for the Stadia version of the game, I can tell you right now that it wouldn't have done well. The Stadia user base still isn't sufficient enough to host a multiplayer focused title throughout all periods of the day. And while it's gotten better, it's certainly still not there, but with crossplay support, there is now a very good chance no matter when you're playing, you're going to be able to find people to play with. Personally speaking, I love For Honor, I'm a huge advocate for that game, I played it since the moment it came out, and I still check it out to this day. Much like Rainbow Six Siege, it has a very dedicated community and it gets constant updates, so it would be a great title to add to the Stadia library. As for Roller Champions, there's not much else to say other than it's a new upcoming Ubisoft title, so I would expect it to make its way over, and it seems like Ubisoft is really focusing on crossplay. It's already confirmed to have it for PC, PlayStation, and Xbox, so Stadia being involved would be perfect, not to mention it's a completely free-to-play game. We've already got confirmation of other free-to-play upcoming titles from Ubisoft like X-Defiant making their way over, so I don't see why Roller Champions wouldn't follow suit. I'm very curious to see how that game performs and how it plays. It's a pretty novel idea and a pretty unique take on a sports title. I think it has a cool aesthetic, and if the gameplay is good enough, I could totally see a user base really sticking with it. The second bit of Stadia related news I want to talk about here today has to do with Google I/O. This just happened yesterday, and that's where they focus on all the new Google products going on. And while Google Stadia didn't get a name drop on its own, its counterpart for white labeling, Immersive Stream, certainly did. They showed it off with the new Google Maps feature called Immersive View, which lets you see a rendered version of the city you're trying to explore. The technology seems extremely similar to what Microsoft Flight Simulator does to actually render the world itself, and in this case, Google Cloud and Immersive Stream are both being used in conjunction to make sure that Immersive View can run on any device out there. I know this isn't specifically gaming, but I do think it's really cool to see the Stadia technology be used for other things outside of the gaming industry. It goes to show that the Immersive Stream counterpart to Stadia is definitely aiming for much more than just being a gaming solution for other companies. It'll probably be used in a variety of industries, and I can't wait to see what else they can come up with. And with that, we wrap up all the cloud gaming news of the day. If you enjoyed the video or found it helpful at all, be sure to hit that like button as it really does help the channel out. And if you're wanting more content like this, be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell as well. Today's end of video question is simply going to be asking you what game you're currently playing on the cloud or maybe on a local device at home. Let me know whether you recommend the game or not, and who knows, I might end up checking it out myself. As always, thanks for watching the video. This has been the Virtual Cloud, giving you the latest and greatest on everything cloud gaming related, and until next time, I'll catch you in the clouds.